If you look at sort of the history of the 20th century, a lot of the equality movements were based on things like race or sexual orientation. And there's a final piece of that jigsaw which is around identity equality, which is a much broader idea, but it's deeply connected to the ideas of obviously race or sexual orientation, but it includes everything. And I think we've got to a point where we've done really well on certain particular issues, but what about the general and overall issue that everyone has the right to be who they need to be or want to be? What I want All Identities Constructed to achieve is to open people's eyes to the idea that everyone has to construct an identity that suits them, and everyone should be safe and secure in doing so. And one of the things I'm most excited about for this project is the idea of it being up and down the country in things like shopping centres, you know, and in the street where lots and lots of people will see it. I also really like the idea that our national pastime is shopping. And so as everyone is shopping, they're in a good place, you know, kind of in a natural space and feeling good. And that's a great place to put positive messages about inclusion and tolerance. And so I kind of want to get out into the far reaches of the country and hopefully influence for the better. Imagine that in the future we've achieved all our goals as a society, so we really are genuinely fair and open and equal. Imagine we'd got to that place in the future and then some lovely public information films were made just about how great it is to live in a society full of equality, and somehow these slipped back in time and ended up in a shopping centre in Carlisle on a big advertising screen. Almost by a technical fluke, and suddenly people were seeing into the future where the kinds of prejudices perhaps that some people feel, or uncertainties or fears about difference, had all dissolved away, and they saw this wonderful utopian future, and it wasn't difficult or frightening, it was just easy.
I'm a person, I'm a woman, I'm an albino. I spend maybe half of my life looking like an albino and half of it looking like a normalish person. There's very little pigment in my body, so it affects the colour of my skin, the colour of my hair. People look at me and see a blonde woman. I guess a lot of men think that blonde means that you're easy or a certain type of woman. Confront the way that the world deals with you. Reason with the world.
My mum's half Nigerian, half English. My dad's from the Caribbean. Coming out, like, my godfather was gay, so I kind of knew my parents were comfortable with people being gay. Being gay and masculinity is something I've had to try and balance. The thing that I've maybe struggled with the most is trying to find a gay scene to fit in with, rather than me actually being a gay man. I definitely do feel like a free person.